Okay guys, between bench, squat. Now, it's very likely that whatever benches you're using, you might even need to add a little more height. In my case, that ends up happening to be the case many times. Now, the reason is because I have pretty good mobility and the dumbbell ends up hitting the floor. And the whole point of doing this on benches is to get more depth. That's why you're standing on a deficit, you understand? Now, if you're actually doing this on benches are usually pretty high, especially if you have, you know, the ones from gyms. So you shouldn't worry too much about that. But if you're using steps like mine, I ended up putting plates on here, weight plates a lot of times to make it even higher, okay? But I'm just gonna show the depth that this dumbbell allows me and think about trying to go deeper. Now, a way to progress this exercise is obviously either adding weight or going a little deeper. Like right now, one of my clients is doing that because she only has access to a certain amount of weight. So I'm having her add a little bit of height every week. Just an inch, nothing too crazy, okay? Same as with the step up, you wanna make sure the surfaces are hard. Do not put like squishy surfaces, makes it way harder. What's the point, right? As if this exercise is not hard enough on its own. Now you're going really freaking heavy for these guys. I mean, like, even if you're a beginner, don't like grab 10-pound dumbbells, even though that's the one I'm using right now, but just for the demonstration purposes. Try and go for like a 30-pound, a 50-pound, a 70-pound. 50 and 70 is kind of high up there. I would say that's a little bit more of an advanced load, but push yourself, okay? Now, if this was a regular squat, right, and this was the floor, you would only be able to go to here, which is not very deep. You see how I'm barely hitting parallel? But if I'm on the benches, it really allows me to go deep. But make sure you're not like going, like don't do like no butt wing situation, just like for the sake of getting depth. Just still keep good form, okay? So you're here. Push your knees out and drive from your heels. Okay? Now, you could either use a dumbbell or a kettlebell, which in my opinion sometimes is even more comfortable, or you can use a T-bell, which is this guy. Okay, now because of how this thing is designed, it's a little taller. This is the times where, like I was telling you guys, I need to add some height to here because this ends up hitting the floor. All right, so if you happen to have one of these, right, you load the plates on. I'm not going to load it, I'm just going to load one just so you can see what it looks like. In this case, I can go really deep. But say I was loading this up with a ton of plates and this ends up having to be here. That's the event I was explaining where you do need to add some height to get the same amount of depth, right? So you would be here. By the way, if you have a home gym, that's a very good investment because then you don't have to buy a ton of dumbbells and kettlebells and you can just load this up with the weight plates. Okay, so from here, you see how I'm hitting the floor and I'm not getting quite as much depth? If I had a little bit more platform here and here, I would maybe be able to go down here. But let's just pretend that it's here, okay? Make sure your chest is proud, okay? Don't be doing no good form, really good squat form, okay? And that is that.